So along those lines, we're not only are we in early stages of really AI maturity and things like that, but also in adoption of AI. So the study also showed that nearly 75% of organizations have a strategy to adopt and utilize AI, but many are still in the early stages of that implementation. What would your advice be to those companies that are, they've started, but maybe either they're stuck or they need to get moving faster?
Yeah, this is like to me a classic. They need to slow down to speed up. What we saw in the last 2 years was really this explosion of pilots in companies, and it's because these tools are sometimes very inexpensive to begin, and groups had autonomy, and so you saw just hundreds in some cases at large companies of AI pilots, and as you can imagine, they weren't run from a central PMO or they weren't run from a central center of excellence in many cases, and so you have varying levels of success, and even the measurements of success are, I would say, in some cases questionable because the teams that are doing this maybe aren't the best at actually defining a business ROI and calculating it. It might be a tech team or a CS team that's just doing something to get ahead. And so that's the first thing I would say is I would say take a look at the portfolio of things if you already have them out there and really understand what's been happening, and then look at your bills too, because things can start cheap and can get really expensive very quickly. And then so get a handle on your landscape. And then I would say, again, and as much as I don't love the notion of a PMO, I think a project management office, I think they can be really burdensome. You need something, you need some kind of traffic cop that looks at a rubric or a framework to really understand where should we be applying AI in the company. But a lot of times what happens is people see a bright, shiny object, a cool tool or a cool system, and they bring it in. And it could have impacts, could have positive impacts, no question. But is that the highest, best lever you can pull to really drive business impact? And that's what's missing now is people saying, even though it looks really cool to have a CS automation, if I'm getting my butt kicked on supply chain and can't figure out my lines over there, even though this automation thing looks, I'm sorry, the CS thing looks really cool, really I should be spending more time, more money and going a little slower to fix my supply chain forecasting issues. And that's going to have the highest benefit for that company. So that's what I would say is really think through and go slow, and you'll be much happier than we're seeing people now who are regretting allowing the pilots to flourish.